Range fans, we are on the 50-yard line. We're trying to beat the sun going down today because we are on the range with something special, something super, thanks to old Tom. Tom, thank you, sir, for allowing me to take care of this old girl for a little bit. Super, another BRNO. That's right. We are talking the BRNO, what is it? Super BRNO SAA 2500. Super BRNO SAA 2500. Here's the deal. What makes this so special? Not only because Tom let me take care of this old girl, but because supposedly there was only 2,500 of them in the world made. Let me give you a little bit of history about this thing, and then we'll talk about it a little bit, maybe in between some shooting, because I know you didn't come to hear me talk, but you got to listen about this one. 2,500 made across the world. Yes, I consider that a rarity. I know some will say I got 1 in 10 or 1 in 1, all that. Great, great. Those are rare too. This one's really special. It's super, by the way. All right, let's get on with it, Mr. Revolver Guy. Super BRNO 2500. Here's the deal. A little bit of history and folklore goes along with this thing, and it is. There was supposedly only 2,500 of these things made for Egypt. Egypt struck the contract with CZ to make 2,500 of these things. This one made in 02, so 2002. Well, before they were delivered, Egypt backed out. Sorry for your luck, and thank you for ours. Because what happened was CZ then imported them into the US for us to sell. Now, supposedly, there was a second run of these things that probably takes the serial number up to about 3,100 or 3,200. I don't know if that's really true, and here is why I say I'm not sure if that's so true or not. Because CZ, though they were very particular about their serial numbers, they weren't contiguous. They kind of skipped around a little bit, and CZ is kind of known for that. So you can't really go by serial number and say that there was 3,100 of them made. Not necessarily until we get them all in one room or all the serial numbers on one sheet of paper, spreadsheet, database, after we've laid our eyes on them, will we know. So they imported them into the US, and we got our hands on them. This thing from, you know what? Enough. Let's do some shooting. Folks, I done messed around and got so excited, I can't even remember half the stats I studied. But that's okay, because we're here to shoot today. Tom, again, thank you for the trust, my friend. Super BRNO SAA 2500. Let's put the first 5 rounds through this thing. You see 3 targets down there, I hope. And we intend to shoot 15 rounds, see how it shoots. And then if you're interested and hang around till the end, we'll tell you a little bit more. Here we go. Shooting off a bipod today. I hope that's a cold bore flyer. Oh, nice trigger. What'd I do with the Oh, let me get the magazines, folks. Oh yeah, I'm back with the 10-round magazine. We're gonna put 5 rounds, 2 more 5-round groups on this thing. Let's see. A little bit of wind. Hammer it, Tom. Hammer it. Buddy, I'm going to get you out here along with this thing, maybe put you on camera if you're not too shy and see what it does. Oh, let's let that wind down a little bit. Man, this thing is a jackhammer. I'm loving it. Shooting from the bipod, which I don't usually do, with rear bags. It does have a 6 to 24 power Bushnell, nothing special. I will tell you folks, listen about this thing. Please find a scope that's either short enough to sit behind the tangent sights or either long enough to go across the tangent sights. The only thing that's been done to this thing is we put 11 millimeter rail on top here from DIP to raise it up a tad bit to get this scope, this long scope over the tangent rail. The reason I say that, you got those two options. Go with one of those two options, please, because I see way too many of these things with the rear sight knocked out and then nobody can find them. Keep that rear sight, please. No, folks, no way in the world can we go home that quick. I am trying to beat the sun, but we've got to hang the summer challenge, the Captain America challenge for the BRNO, the Super BRNO. Folks, let me get all that set up. I'll tell you a little bit more about it. Be right back. Old range fans, I got the old Captain America challenge hung up down range. We're going to take a go at this thing. I wonder if I can break into the 80s with this thing. But before we do, remember, we got a new challenge. Me and the old crazy Scotsman thought up together. We got a new challenge coming up next week that it's going to start. And I'm getting heck. I'm getting heck already about closing Captain America off early because I said I'll let it run to the end of September. We're going to run 2 of them simultaneously. Gosh, does that make you happy now? Does that make you happy now? We're going to run 2 of them simultaneously. We'll start taking scores next week. If you shoot that target, for those that are on the mailing list and got it a week early, if you shoot that target, just point me to where the video is or tell me what your scores are, point me where the video is, or email your targets to me, and I'll start to post them next week. But we're here to talk about the Super BRNO SAA 2500. I gave you a little bit of the history. Let's tell you a little bit about this thing. This thing really does come from the CZ 452 or a little bit before the CZ 452 line. On the very front of this 28.5 inch barrel is an adjustable front sight. I haven't seen something like that in ages. With a nice hood on it, the hood is hollowed at the top, and also there's ridges to knock down glare if you're shooting with these beautiful sights. Because on the rear is a beautiful tangent sight. It goes from 25 meters up to 300 meters. 25 to 50, 50 to 75. So from 25 to 100 meters, 25 meter increments. And then at 100 meters, it goes in 50 meter increments out to 300. Beautiful. Folks, don't take them off. It is easy to take them off, but you're going to lose it. And it degrades the value. Thanks, Tom, again, for allowing me to take care of this thing for you, and also for keeping the rear sight on this thing. But I knew with my bad eyes, I could not go about shooting these things with the rear sights. So you either have to get a scope that's shorter, as I mentioned, to fit behind the tangent. And there are some older, nice weavers out there that you can find folks talking about, the good people over at Rimfire Central, talking about what fits. I decided to go with a little bit longer because it's something I had. So I put the DIP 11 millimeter rail on top that allowed me to mount this scope. Nothing special. Bushnell 6 to 24. The barrel on this thing is beautifully blued. The receiver is what they call a matte bluing. Both the receiver and barrel are stamped and dated appropriately. Stamped and dated appropriately, O2, both of them, with the old castle stamped in them as well. Also on this thing, you can see I got a bipod on this thing because it has swivel slings, say that 100 times fast, swivel slings on it. So I put one old bipod on it just to see what it would shoot like today from bipod, because I'm tired of old Josh riding me about it. This thing also has metal bottom plate here. And this gold trigger is absolutely golden. Yes, it's not just a gold painted trigger or a plated trigger. It is a very nice trigger. Almost feels like a little bit of a two-stage for me. A little bit of take up, you hit that wall, and then it breaks just like glass. You know where that wall is. Man, I can't talk today, in a rush trying to beat the sun going down. But we all know what makes it unique. It's this orange stock. This orange stock with this thick rubber butt pad, almost as if this thing was made for a 223 or some heavy centerfire recoiling rifle, something heavier than 22 long rifle. I said this thing comes from the 452 lineage because there's one other unique thing here. It has the mounting design of the CZ452. Those familiar know what I'm talking about. It's got two receiver screws, and then there is a barrel screw right up here. Hopefully you all can see that. I gave you the history of this beautiful Česká Brova, Mr. Tom. Light them up today. Buddy, I came out here last minute. You can tell from the rush. That's why I didn't call you. Apologies for that. But we'll get out and shoot this thing together with glass on it so you can see your baby. All right. We are going to move to the Captain America Challenge. I have a pretty big lot, 1058 speed of this Ely match. I kind of go to that when I don't know what it's going to shoot, and this thing seems like it loves it. What else can I tell you about it? I think that's it. That's all you need to know. 2,500 of them. I believe probably between 2,000 and 3,000 were actually made. Still a rarity and still a beautiful gem. Look at this thing. It's over 20 years old, and it doesn't have a scar on it. And Tom, I don't plan to put a scar on it either. Let's shoot Captain America. Oh, Captain America, here we come. This thing doesn't seem to be too ammo picky either, because I did shoot some Center X in it today, but I only had a small box of it, so I decided to go with what I brought out, or I had a half a box of it, so I went with the Ely match, shooting Ely match. Let's take a sighter. Gosh, these crosshairs are so thick. Am I going to shoot an 80 today? Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Is that a 5? Oh, wah, wah, wah. It's a 4. Come on, let's keep this barrel warm. Let's keep it warm, big fella. Man, I keep coming close. But we all know the deal. Close only counts in hand grenades and horseshoes. I got to get some 5s. Uh-oh. Come on, don't do that on me. Sure, that's magazine related. Oh, the one target I thought I would never see a 3 with this thing. Come on, big fella. I think this is going to be the first rifle that I shoot show me the money with. Show me the money or pay the tax man. Man, the crosshairs on this thing cover up the whole target. You hear that, Nibs? Now it's me. You don't push that stuff. Man, come on, Nibs. Man, what a way to finish out Captain America. Folks, you got a few more weeks left to shoot the good old Captain America Challenge, Summer Challenge of 2024. And when you complete that one, go over to dayattherange.com and download the new Show Me the Money, raising money for our favorite charity. We're going to allow the shooters to pick, and then maybe also give a little something back. We're going to split that pot depending on how much we raise, some to the first place shooters in each class, and then some to our favorite charity. I've even had one vote that it all should go to charity. You guys pipe in as you're shooting these targets. Let's put a group. You know how I do this. We're going to put a group up there on that last target to the right. See how this thing really shoots. Put a round in there first. Well, there you have it. This thing will show enough shoot, and it is show enough super enough for me, Czech Republic. Super SAA 2500, 28.5-inch barrel. I didn't think that I would dig this orange stock, but it sure is growing on me. Come on over to dayattherange.com and join us in the Captain America shootout. You got a few weeks left, and when you get done with that one, pick up the target for Show Me the Money or Pay the Tax Man. Don't have the IRS come knocking on your door now. Ha, Mr. Revolver Guy, I'm going home. All range fans, last 10 rounds of Cinerex. How picky will it be? Usually these rifles want you to season the barrel. We're just going for it. We're going to shoot at the scoring target. Wind's picking up. 10 rounds of Center X. Do you guys see that? The least picky barrel, and I tell you why I think it's the least picky. Oh, Tom, I think I stated this, but he wanted me to run at a bore scope down the barrel. This thing has some of the sharpest rifling that I have seen in a CZ and almost possibly any rifle, including centerfire. This thing is very, very refined inside and very defined. The edges are very, very sharp to be a 20-year-old rifle. There you have it, Tom. You wanted to know some more about it? I hope that meets your expectations. Next time, it's you and I out here, baby. Let's go count this target. Range fans, let's score this thing. Man, I think I maybe should have shot Center X. Oh boy, I only had 10 rounds of it left, so I had to go with the Ely match. Oh boy, I'm starting to sound like old Nibs. Nibs, I'll get off you one day. and by the way, I do way more complaining than Nibs. I just have to give him a hard time. Let's count them, let's count them, let's count them. 4, 4, 4. Oh, that's close, but it's a 4, 4. Then we're gonna go over here and that's a solid 4. Another solid 4. Wait, I think I got one. Yeah, that's a 5. That's a 5 for sure. That is a 4. And that's a 4. Then we go over here. This is a 4. A 4. Oh, a 3. A 4. And close to a 5, but no cigar, a 4. Then we got another 4, a 4, a 4, a 4, and a 4 for a total score of 80. You mean to tell me it took the last flipping target with a 20-year-old rifle, a 20-year-old squirrel getter, a 20-year-old critter getter? Are you kidding me, Mr. Revolver Guy? It took you that long. The dang old contest is almost over for you to break 80. You broke it on your first try, and then you never could replicate it on camera. Oh, Tom, that's how good this thing shoots. And I believe I could break 85 if I had some more Center X. Unfortunately, that stuff is like, man, it's like hen's teeth. It's like finding unicorns. It's like finding gold underneath the rainbow. You just can't find it right now. Anyways, there you have it. Come on over to dayattherange.com if you enjoyed the challenges. Even if you just enjoy watching. Me and the missus appreciate it. I'm going home.